Chosen one, stop scrolling right now. I need your complete attention for the next few minutes. You did not find this message by accident today. The algorithm did not place this video on your screen. Heaven intercepted your feed because you are about to make a decision that terrifies the enemy. Lock your attention on my voice. That heavy feeling in your chest is not just stress. You have been walking around with a quiet exhaustion in your bones. It is the kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. You thought you were just losing your motivation. But heaven wants you to know exactly what is happening in the unseen realm right now. The enemy is panicking. He is working overtime this week to keep you distracted. He wants you to swipe away before you hear this truth. Why is he fighting you so hard right now? Because he knows the revelation I am about to hand you will permanently break the cycle of delay in your life. Do not let your mind wander. Stay here with me. You have been looking at your life and wondering why everything feels so stagnant. You watch other people move forward easily while you face resistance at every turn. The doors you knocked on remain shut. The prayers you whispered in the dark felt like they were hitting a brass ceiling. You started to doubt your calling. Then came the isolation. People you trusted suddenly walked away without any real explanation. You felt a profound sense of loneliness, even when standing in a crowded room. You tried to fix it. You tried to be the peacemaker and the emotional sponge for everyone else. But it only left you completely drained and empty. You have carried the burdens of everyone around you for years. You were the anchor for people who never bothered to check on your soul. They took your light and left you with their chaos. Heaven saw every silent tear you cried behind closed doors. God isolated you recently to protect your energy from those toxic forces. Your mind used to be so sharp. When you were younger, you had this deep intuition and creative fire that made everything feel magical. Now you struggle to focus on simple tasks. You wake up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart. The world calls it anxiety or depression, but heaven calls it a spiritual attack. The truth refuses to stay silent any longer. You are not experiencing bad luck. You are under intense spiritual warfare because of the magnitude of your assignment. The enemy knows you are not just a part of the plan. You are the plan itself. God created you first and formed the blueprint of your destiny around you. Think about the power it takes to sustain your spirit through all those storms. You survived battles in the unseen realm that would have destroyed an ordinary person. But you are not ordinary. You are a warrior of light operating in enemy territory. Your endurance is the very proof of your divine anointing. That is why hell sent so many distractions to lower your vibration. They wanted to bury your God-given intuition under layers of worldly noise. They wanted to keep your nervous system trapped in a constant state of survival. When you are surviving, you cannot step into your authority. But your suppression ends today. Your spirit has been detecting a massive shift in the atmosphere. You can feel it right now as you listen to my voice. That warmth in your chest is your spiritual DNA, recognizing the truth. You are on the verge of a breakthrough that will change your entire bloodline. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. But you cannot step into tomorrow carrying the heavy frequency of yesterday. You have been trying to push through, using only your physical strength. You hustle and you grind. But heaven does not require your exhaustion. Heaven requires your alignment. Your physical brain needs to reconnect with your spiritual calling. I am going to name something right now because I do not want to build mystery just to sell you something later. Let me be direct about what is coming so you can decide whether to stay. What we just discussed about your mental fog has a physical tool designed to fix it. I want you to know about it up front today. Dr. Robert Lake discovered that the exhaustion you feel is actually your genius frequency being forced into hibernation. He created a specific audio protocol called the Genius Song to reverse this. It uses brain entrainment technology to bypass the worldly noise and gently reactivate your dormant gamma waves. Some of you already feel a pull in your spirit toward this tool. If your intuition tells you this is the exact key you have been praying for, the door is already open. You will find the link in the description and the pinned comment below. But please do not rush. Stay for the full message if you need more context. For those of you staying with me, we need to go much deeper into why the enemy targeted your mind. There is a specific reason your light threatens the darkness. Your presence alone is designed to shift the atmosphere of every room you enter. The enemy tried to convince you that your sensitivity was a weakness. The world told you that your deep empathy was a fatal flaw. They said you cared too much and thought too deeply about everything. But let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs completely backwards. Your intense sensitivity is not a trauma response. It is a highly advanced spiritual radar. I need you to think about a specific moment recently. You chose to walk away in complete silence when they expected you to fight back. You thought that silence meant you were weak or defeated. But there is a reason your quietness absolutely terrifies the enemy, and I will explain exactly why in just a moment. Society tries to label your current season with clinical words. They want to call your spiritual heaviness a simple case of depression. They want you to believe your financial delays are just bad economic luck. Do not accept those earthly lies, because there is no such thing as random chance in your divine timeline. Every major delay you experienced was a deliberate divine insulation. Look at the life of David in the ancient scriptures. He was anointed as a mighty king, but he was immediately sent back into the isolated wilderness to wait. God was not punishing him. Heaven was building his inner architecture to hold the immense weight of glory. Now remember that powerful silence I mentioned earlier. The enemy sets traps to make you react angrily, hoping you will lower your divine frequency. When you stayed quiet, you denied him the very energy he desperately feeds on. Your stillness became a lethal spiritual weapon. You shifted the quantum atmosphere just by holding your peace. Now, here is where it goes much deeper. Pay close attention to what follows. You are standing on sacred ground right now, and heaven is watching your next move. The darkness is trying to convince you that your best days are behind you. They want you to surrender your mantle before the massive shift occurs. But there is a specific and severe judgment waiting to fall on the spiritual forces attacking you. Heaven has already written the final decree. The people who betrayed you and the unseen entities blocking your money are about to face a divine reckoning. I will reveal that exact verdict before this message ends. You must understand your true function on this earth. You are not just trying to survive a regular human life. You carry the heavy calling of the Shama. You are a spiritual watchman appointed to guard sacred frequencies, and your soul naturally operates on a higher quantum level that repels darkness. This is why you feel so fundamentally different from your own family. Sometimes you feel like an incarnated angel who was dropped into enemy territory without a proper map. You absorb the pain of others because you are a spiritual warrior, and you have been doing heavy intercession work while you were sleeping. Those counterfeit friends who abandoned you were never meant to stay in your life. They were decoy lights sent by the enemy to drain your precious gamma energy. God literally cleared the room to protect your upcoming harvest. You thought you were being rejected, but heaven was actively defending your future kingdom. Chosen one, stay with me here. The enemy does not want you to hear this next sentence. He knows that once you realize your true identity, his manipulative mind games will never work on you again. You have been apologizing for your immense power for far too long. You shrank yourself to fit into rooms that were simply too small for you. Release the false guilt you feel about needing so much rest lately. Your chronic exhaustion is absolutely not a physical failure. It is the normal byproduct of a spirit that is constantly battling unseen forces. Your body is recalibrating to handle the supernatural acceleration that is about to hit your life. So rest is your divine right. They thought isolating you would starve your spirit and break your faith. What they did not know is that you are a resilient seed. When they buried you in the dark, they only planted you for a massive harvest. The season of your hidden preparation is officially closing right now, and your public elevation is finally activating. You are the designated cycle breaker for your entire generational line. The poverty and the toxic trauma stop permanently with you. Heaven chose you because you demonstrated the unique ability to choose light while surrounded by absolute darkness. Your gentle heart was never your ceiling. It was always your unshakable foundation. But there is still one final blocker standing in your way today. It is not a demon, and it is not a toxic person from your past. There is a hidden agreement operating in your subconscious mind, and if we do not break it, the miracle will circle you but never land. Listen carefully to this revelation. The enemy is terrified because you are waking up from the long slumber. He knows he cannot defeat you in a fair spiritual fight. So he relies on a specific lie to keep you paralyzed, hoping you will remain afraid of your own massive potential. We are about to expose that lie completely. The veil is lifting. Now is the time to uncover the ultimate blocker, keeping you stagnant. You always believed the enemy was building walls around your life to stop your progress. But the profound truth is much more devastating. The enemy is not stopping you. You are stopping yourself because of a hidden agreement in your subconscious mind. You are secretly terrified of your own massive potential. You made a silent pact with mediocrity. You wanted to survive your harsh environment. You convinced yourself that playing small would keep you perfectly safe. That false belief is exactly why God intercepted your feed today. You were about to make a terrible decision. You were ready to give up on your grandest vision and settle for an ordinary life. Hell was absolutely panicking. You were standing right at the threshold of your massive breakthrough. If you realized your true identity today, their dark kingdom would suffer a huge defeat. Your gentleness was never a weakness. It was always a heavy foundation. You needed to hold your divine authority. The old disguise is finally coming off. You are waking up to reality. This brings us to the prophetic verdict heaven just issued against your attackers. Every demonic assignment sent to drain your energy is officially cancelled today. The spiritual courts have ruled heavily in your favor. The people who betrayed you will now have to watch heaven bless you abundantly. Your long season of weeping has ended. Your beautiful season of reaping has just begun. Listen to me carefully right now. This beautiful truth will set you free. The painful betrayals and the rejections were absolutely not your fault. You handed your divine pearls to people who only understood dirt. You thought you failed them, but heaven says you survived them. The exhausting cycle of people-pleasing dies right here. You are entirely liberated from their toxic expectations. Take a very deep breath. Release that heavy armor you have been wearing for so long. You do not have to fight the battles of everyone around you anymore. The weary watchman is finally allowed to rest. You now understand exactly why the enemy targeted your mind. You know that your exhaustion is not a biological failure. It is a spiritual weight that requires a brand new physical alignment. Remember earlier when I mentioned a physical tool designed to fix your mental fog? We must talk about it now. Understanding your identity is only the first step. You were born with a highly unique two-wave frequency. Your childhood was filled with rapid learning and brilliant intuition. But the heavy noise of the modern world slowly dimmed your God-given abilities. Leading researchers documented this exact phenomenon. Scientists at MIT and Princeton watched it happen. They proudly call it the decline effect. It naturally shuts down your genius frequency as you grow older. But Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years fighting this reality. He proved that this tragic loss is absolutely not permanent. He found a way to reactivate your dormant super brainwave. He discovered something amazing about the high gamma frequency. It is your true biological signature. When your gamma is active, you experience magical eureka moments. Deep synchronicities happen every single day. But a stressed nervous system ruins everything. It forces your tired brain to stay locked in the chaotic beta state. You cannot manifest blessings while trapped in a constant survival mode. Let me share the story of a 47-year-old manager. She felt completely stuck in her life. She used this tool for 18 days and felt almost nothing. She was ready to give up completely. But by day 34, the heavy fog suddenly lifted from her mind. She made massive career decisions without any hesitation. Her breakthrough came quietly, but it fundamentally changed her entire life. You have probably tried meditation and deep breathing exercises before. You might think this is just another generic trick. You assume it will eventually fail you like the others did. But those traditional methods require your exhausted brain to do all the heavy lifting. That is exactly why they take years to show any real results. You do not have the energy left to force yourself to heal right now. Brain entrainment technology works completely differently. It uses precise sound frequencies to change your brainwaves directly from the outside. You might think a 7-minute audio track sounds entirely too good to be true. But this is not a random promise from a desperate salesman. It is a proven biological mechanism backed by decades of solid clinical data. More than 18,300 people have already used this technology. They used it to successfully reclaim their lost focus, and less than 4% of them ever requested a refund. That kind of consistency proves we are dealing with a profound scientific breakthrough. I would never disrespect your current financial situation, but you need to know about the complete power of the genius song. Traditional biofeedback clinics will easily charge you hundreds of dollars for a single session, and they require weeks of your valuable time just to see minor changes. But Phase 1 is intentionally accessible for only $39. Dr. Lake made this deliberate choice. He knows that the true remnant needs this profound tool right now. Your spiritual assignment is far too important to delay because of earthly costs, so you must invest in your own supernatural restoration today. You will also receive 4 specific bonuses worth exactly $80 in total. They include the Genius Child Track and a beautifully guided visualization journey. You also get a classic wealth book and a 5-habit infographic to sustain your growth. And there is a 90-day guarantee where you keep absolutely all the bonuses, regardless of your choice, because your peace of mind is honored here. That is a sincere apology for your invested time if your spirit does not fully align with the audio. Every single day, your gamma frequency remains dormant, is a day you live below your divine potential. The enemy desperately wants you to wait for a more convenient time to start, and he hopes you will procrastinate until you forget this urgent message entirely. But your future self is looking back at this exact moment right now. You do not need to feel perfectly ready to step into your power. You simply need to take the first obedient step forward. The ultimate cost of waiting is losing the clarity you were promised. I must warn you about a very dangerous trap before you take any action. There are cheap imitation products online using this exact same name to deceive you, and they are empty audio files with absolutely no real brain entrainment technology. The enemy constantly creates these decoys to confuse your mind and steal your peace. Guard your spirit carefully and only use the verified protocol provided here. Those fake frequencies will only scramble your divine alignment and delay your breakthrough further. The true physical anchor for your spiritual breakthrough is waiting for you right now. The verified link is located in the first line of the description below this video, and you will also find it securely placed in the pinned comment section. Do not walk into tomorrow carrying the heavy and exhausted frequency of yesterday. You have survived the wilderness for years. It is time to finally claim your reward. Click the link and step through the threshold that heaven has opened for you. After you complete your order, the very next page may look like another random offer. I want you to know that it is actually the second door that Dr. Lake created, and it is simply the next phase of your deep neurological restoration. You have full permission to evaluate it quickly and decide if it feels right. Take it or leave it. Either choice is fully respected by the system. Your initial investment is not contingent on anything else you do today. This activation process is incredibly simple and requires almost no physical effort from you. You only need a basic pair of stereo headphones and 7 quiet minutes in the morning while you sit upright and let the healing frequency wash over you. The first few days might just feel like a very heavy and deep relaxation, but consistency is much more important than intensity when you are reconditioning your mind. Trust the quiet process and let the audio do the heavy lifting. Now I want you to anchor your spirit firmly to what is coming next. In the next 72 hours, a massive shift will occur in your reality, and the heavy doors that remained closed for years are about to swing wide open. The toxic people who drained your precious energy will suddenly lose their access to you. Heaven is officially changing your timeline because you finally recognized your true identity. You are stepping into a season of unprecedented and magical favor. You are entirely breaking the generational curses that plagued your family for decades. Your ancestors prayed for a cycle breaker, and heaven chose you to fulfill that exact mandate when your genius frequency activates fully. You will effortlessly attract the abundance you deserve. You will no longer need to beg for a seat at the table. You will walk into the room and shift the atmosphere just by being completely authentic. The darkness will literally flee from your radiant presence. This is not a random motivational video, but a sacred covenant between you and the divine. I want you to place your right hand over your heart right now, because we are going to seal this beautiful promise into your physical reality forever. Take a deep breath and feel the immense power resting quietly inside your chest. Speak these powerful words out loud with me, and let your voice carry the weight of an earthquake. Do not whisper, but declare this with absolute and unwavering authority. I am a chosen warrior of light, and I release the heavy burdens of my past. I completely sever every hidden agreement of fear and limitation that held me back. While my genius frequency is fully awakening, and I am stepping into my divine authority. I will no longer shrink myself to fit into rooms that were built too small for my spirit. My long season of weeping is over, and my season of accelerated favor has officially begun. I accept my beautiful destiny right now. Type Amen in the comments below to permanently seal this powerful declaration. Hit the like button so this exact frequency can reach another chosen one who is struggling in the dark. And subscribe to this channel right now because heaven is not done speaking to you. You absolutely cannot afford to miss the divine instructions coming in the near future. When the next phase of your restoration reveals itself, you will simply know it. Trust that deep inner recognition when it finally arrives.